Storms in Aberdeen tomorrow. Well, we're looking at a mostly cloudy start to the day, then decreasing clouds. Highs for you in the low 80s. A chance for a couple of scattered thunderstorms later in the day as well. Pier, just a slight chance of a storm. High temperatures in the upper 80s. Your forecast coming up in a few minutes. KSFY News at 10 starts right now.
From the KSFY studios in downtown Sioux Falls, this is KSFY News at 10.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Allen.
Glad to have you here with us. I'm Courtney Collin. Tariffs continue to have a major impact on South Dakota producers.
And just tonight, leaders from a variety of fields came together here in Sioux Falls to talk about how tariffs are impacting the local economy and our local farmers.
KSFY News reporter Erica Lee was there and has the details. It's our 10 o'clock top story. Erica.
Courtney and Brian, Americans for Prosperity hosted a debate panel with local and state experts who say the tariffs are tough on producers and the local economy, and they're hoping President Trump is on the right track to turn things around soon.
We keep on encouraging the president to get back to the negotiating table and get this done just as soon as possible.
The U.S. Chamber's estimated that it's over 130,000 jobs in South Dakota that are supported by trade activity in general. And that's a statewide number. The labor shed of Sioux Falls itself is about 152,000. So it's a very huge portion of our economy.
While the focus is on our ag producers, Ball says there could also be a major impact on the local economy.
We know that those farmers come into Sioux Falls, they spend money, we know that they support other jobs and industries, and then we know that, for example, pork processing, pork storage and cold freezing all support jobs in the economy in Sioux Falls.
If those jobs are affected, the growth the city is experiencing could hit a plateau or even take a dip.
And that makes it harder through taxes for us to pay for city and roads and streets and infrastructure.
While the ink isn't dry yet on the NAFTA deal President Trump drafted with Mexico, Americans for Prosperity State Director Don Hager says the two-part deal signifies progress, but doesn't help South Dakota producers and may actually end up costing anyone who wants an American-made car more money.
They've mandated that a higher percentage of parts of the vehicle have to come from North America. Well, guess what that means? It means higher prices for automobiles. So we're paying the price of this agreement.
Hager said tonight's panel, which brought together AFP, Ball, an economics professor, and the president of the South Dakota Farm Bureau, is all about education.
We get a broad kind of a cross-section of debate and discussion about the issues so that the citizens, if they want to communicate with their representatives or with the White House, they have some background.
That was Erica Lee reporting for us tonight. The president of South Dakota Farm Bureau believes Trump is now making progress on a NAFTA deal with Canada as well.
Speaking of the president, he is now set to make his first visit to South Dakota as commander-in-chief sometime next week. In fact, he'll visit Sioux Falls on Friday, September 7th, to speak at a closed-door fundraiser for gubernatorial hopeful Kristi Noem. An invitation sent to GOP says it is $1,000 per couple to get in the door, or $5,000 for a photo with the president. Now, it doesn't say exactly where or when this event takes place, but local law enforcement officers say they are ready to assist the Secret Service with whatever they may need.
Well, obviously, you never know what kind of crowds are going to show up. Traffic control, things like that. That would be done by the Sioux Falls Police Department, but, and we would assist the Sioux Falls Police as they see fit to backfill their needs.
You'll recall South Dakota's last presidential visit was President Obama's commencement address at Lake Area Tech in Watertown 3 years ago.
A delegation of more than 40 people from South Dakota, North Dakota, and Wyoming visited the White House today to discuss improving federal-local relationships. The group of local lawmakers, county commissioners, mayors, and sheriffs included State Senator Neil Tapio. Tapio served as South Dakota's director of the Trump campaign and says he's glad for this opportunity to get to know more people in the president's administration.
Once you develop those relationships, then you can work on issues that affect South Dakota, like agriculture. We've got issues with trade, as well as homeland security. Just being able to meet with the leaders of those departments opens the doors to future progress.
And President Trump's goal is to host local leaders from all 50 states by the end of the year.
Yeah, today we saw, weather-wise, that thing we see every once in a while where in some parts of South Dakota it's nice and cool, then you go to other parts and it's a little on the balmy side.
And the cloudy skies came in kind of later in the day, and everyone was like, is there rain? Is there not going to be rain? Are my plans going to be canceled tonight?
Yeah, no rain came out of those clouds, and then maybe a couple sprinkles here and there. And those clouds made a big difference in temperatures across the area. It felt like fall and looked like fall in the east, but in central South Dakota, man, was it nice and warm with temperatures in the 90s where you had a lot of sunshine in central and western South Dakota today. Check it out here on the map. 92 in Pierre, 90 in Mobridge. Rapid City had 91. It was 94 in Pine Ridge. And you know what? It wasn't real humid out there. So as Courtney knows, a dry heat. She's from Arizona, originally. So it makes a big difference. It was a little sticky in the east, but cooler with temperatures in the 70s. Looking ahead to tomorrow, 60s to around 70 in the morning, and then into the afternoon, 70s and 80s for highs. And along with that, a chance for some late day thunderstorms that could be severe. The Storm Prediction Center does have a marginal to slight risk across our area, which is 1 and 2 on that scale of 5. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up just a bit later on.
Thank you, Phil.
Okay.
The man arrested in the overdose death of a Beetle County woman has pleaded not guilty. Mark Enris is charged with first-degree manslaughter and drug distribution in the death of 29-year-old Heather Skinner. Skinner's 4- and 6-year-old sons found her body on June 22nd. Prosecutors allege that Enris was doing drugs with Skinner before her death and that he knew she had overdosed when he left the home. His trial now set to begin this November.
A shooting threat put the Sioux Falls School District on high alert earlier today. Police say it was made by email and targeted Roosevelt High School. Extra officers began patrols around the school, but the more investigators looked into the threat, the more they believed it was a hoax.
It actually kind of mirrors one that we had last year. Last February, we had some emails that went around that there was a threat to a school. That one turned out to be a scam. This one seems to be similar to that.
Superintendent Dr. Ryan Maher calls the threat an act of cyber terrorism and says students were never in any real danger.
Well, a stretch of Phillips Avenue in downtown Sioux Falls is open once again tonight following a building collapse scare.
A crew shut down traffic between 10th and 11th Streets earlier today after someone reported the brick facade on the Vishnu Bunny building was leaning into the street. Take a look. Contractors secured the front of the building, but the sidewalk is still blocked off as a precaution until additional work can be done. Businesses in the affected area expect to reopen tomorrow, but some may only be accessible from their back or side entrances.
Now, a lot of people are talking about the eerie timing of this structural scare. Today was also the first day of business at the downtown Lewis Drug Store where the Copper Lounge building once stood. That building collapsed during renovations in December of 2016, killing one construction worker at that site.
To continuing coverage here at 10, Senator John McCain left Arizona for the last time this afternoon for his final flight to Washington, D.C. Hundreds of military service members stood in formation as the casket carrying the 6th-term senator left the Phoenix airport. There will be a public viewing tomorrow at the U.S. Capitol and a service Saturday at Washington National Cathedral. McCain will be buried Sunday at the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland.
Well, this weekend, get to know the candidates who want to represent you in Congress. KSFY is hosting a debate between the candidates for South Dakota's only seat in the U.S. House. It will be live at the South Dakota State Fair. So if you're at the fair Sunday, join us at 2 o'clock at the Freedom Stage. If you can't make it to the fair, we got you covered. Tune in live right here on KSFY or ksfy.com.
We got you covered.
We got you covered. Governor Dugard preparing for next month's special legislative session in Pierre.
Coming up here on KSFY News at 10, the legislation he wants representatives and senators to consider 13 days from now. Coming up. Phil.
A lot of folks want to know what it's going to be like weather-wise for the Labor Day weekend. We'll let you know coming up after the break.
If new numbers are any indication, the upcoming South Dakota pheasant hunting season is going to be a good one. Music to our ears.
Yeah.
KSFY News at 10 continues right after this.
KSFY News is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
Get a free adjustable base on almost every Sealy mattress.
Or a king mattress for a queen price, starting at just $199, only at Mattress Firm.
Yes, we're having the only real Labor Day sale. Buy a Tempur-Pedic and save $550 or upgrade to a free adjustable base.
Plus 0% interest for 6 years, free delivery, and $300 in free gifts. Nobody has a bigger or better Labor Day sale.
Nobody. Aw, would you rub my feet?
It's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event.